I've been away for 10 days of holiday in Italy. I'm extremely happy to be back. Ragazzi, in the meanwhile, nothing happened. If we are speaking about entry Mercato, no player arrived to reinforce the team because Joao Mario arrived before I left, because Jonathan David arrived before I left, and that means that Juventus at the moment is the same that we saw against Reggiana 2-2. Why is that? We give you an answer in a second. Who are the players that could possibly leave Juventus in the next few days, and who are the players that are joining a list of opportunities, more than fantastic quality players? We'll speak about all of that in a second. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, welcome back in my home. I'm extremely happy to be back because holiday is nice, but being able to be there in front of the camera, watching you straight in your eyes, watching in your home and you in mine, is just a fantastic feeling. I'm super happy. I don't stay long because I will be in Dortmund Saturday and Sunday. For the people that are around, please send me a message so maybe we can see each other in real life there. You know that this is the thing that makes me the most happy. I will be there to follow the team that is at the moment in Herzogenaurach. So if you didn't yet, please put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe to let me know that you are extremely happy that I'm back here with a beautiful sound quality normally, but also Visio, and here the background that should change in a few days, a few weeks. Let's see what we can do here. Anyway, ciao Juventini of the world again. Why is Juventus not moving? Why didn't do zero while I was away? Well, the answer is simple, because a few days ago, what did we see in terms of reported by transfermarket.com? That Juventus, even if they didn't sign a lot of players, one was a swap, Joao Mario, Alberto Costa, the other one was a free agent. Well, at the moment is the 10th club that spent the most on the market. Why? Will you tell me, Beppe? Where are these players? Well, these players, unfortunately, were already there. We are paying the Giuntoli tax. Giuntoli that went for some players, that was able to pay a part of it, promising that he would pay the rest of the sum later. So now, and this is why we are in trouble financially, because Di Gregorio needed to be paid, because Kalulu was alone and we needed to make him permanently, and etc, 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 etc. 119 million. I don't go into detail because we already spoke about it a few days ago, but I wanted to repeat it, why we are at the moment, looks like we are extremely inactive. Inactive in a way because we are working hard, and instead of blaming Comolli, that I still see, but he needs to fix, well, he's taking actually an extremely difficult situation, but it's not on holiday, because he didn't go to Herzogenaurach with the team. He stayed there in La Continassa, where I was, and this is why I didn't record the last 2 days, because before coming back from Andorra immediately to Belgium, I stopped in La Continassa. There were no players. I saw some youth players that I know, like for example Mamadou Pame, a fantastic, beautiful player, 15 years old. Pay attention to that name. He's already playing in La Nazionale with Italy. I met Diego Ripani. Who did I meet? I also met from Juventus women first team, so it was quite nice to be in the J Hotel, but no first team players because they were all in Germany. Anyway, this was under bracket. Well, Juventus spent a lot, and he's spending, and now we are paying the Giuntoli tax before moving on, but we are working. I told you already that Bangula left, and who arrived yesterday in Marseille? It is Timothy Weah, next to his father. His father played at Marseille back then, so he was extremely happy to be there. He said yesterday, when there were a lot of people to welcome him, I don't deserve that, but what does it mean? That we will have to show it on the field. So beautiful words for Timothy Weah, that we can consider now a next Juve player. We just need to figure out, and we will read it later, if it will be an obligation to buy, as we said 2-3 days ago, or an option to buy, but probably at extremely easy targets to reach, so we can consider it an obligation. So let's see what formula it will be for Tim Weah, that the announcement should be today or maximum tomorrow. Another player that is about to leave Juve, and that Juventus Comolli is really waiting for, because that could possibly give us an acceleration, especially in our midfield. We are speaking about Douglas Luiz. Yesterday, Brazilian journalist Andersinho Marques, that is really well informed about Portuguese players, about Brazilian players that are also playing in Serie A, told us send clock Douglas Luiz. So what does that mean? We need to really to go to trying to understand what it really means. Does it mean that he already found an agreement with the club? Does it mean that the clubs already agreed on a fee? Does it mean that today, tomorrow? We don't know. We just know that he didn't play against Reggiana because he's really clearly on the exit market. Comolli wants 40. Then we can discuss about the formula. We know that there are a lot of clubs from Premier League, Newcastle, Manchester United, Everton, but the closest one is Nottingham Forest. They want to go for him. There is a beautiful relationship between the two clubs, between Forest and the Bianconeri. Now we need to understand the formula. Can it be a loan? 10 million immediately with 30 later? Can it be a free loan with 40 obligation? Can it be, I don't know what the formula could be, but 40-ish is really what Damien Comolli wants to go for the player. So let's see the formula later. When it will happen, it could be a beautiful acceleration. Of course, the formula will influence what kind of player we can go for, and that's important because on papers we are just reading some names from Yulman. And how many times did we already speak about Yulman, the player from Sporting? Extremely difficult because the value that is requested by Sporting is nearly impossible. So I don't know why Corriere dello Sport is still pushing on that name. Is it because Damien Comolli already told them that this is the name that he wants to go for? Is it because they understood with the agent that Juventus is still on the player? I don't know. Maybe Damien Comolli already know that he will sell, I don't know, Cope, Manners, Douglas Luiz, Miretti, all the midfield, McKennie, and then he will go with all that money for Yulman. I don't know. But other than that, I really don't understand it. Other names that are still in that list are, for example, Bissouma. Bissouma from Tottenham, not a bad player. There is still Amrabat that I told you 4 years ago, why not? Today, I'm a bit more hesitant. And then there is another player that is also on that list. Pay attention. We are speaking about the name of Jolberg, the player from Olympique de Marseille that yesterday celebrated 30. Will he come to Juve? No. For what reason? Because apparently Juventus, in the talks about Team Weah, they spoke about Jolberg, where Marseille and the Zerbi said no, because he's extremely important in the way that we are playing. So no to him going to Juve, or at least not even starting with talks, which honestly is a good thing because I was not really excited about Jolberg. That's not the first time that we are speaking about. We already spoke about him when Allegri was there at Juve. So it's an old name that was already linked to Juve. We already know the player, but I tell you, I'm extremely happy. That's not the kind of player that I wanted for Juve. Didn't do well at Tottenham. He's doing a bit okay at Marseille, to be honest, probably because there is the aura of Adrien Rabiot that is next to him. I don't know. But anyway, it's not a player. A player that could possibly be in that list and could join Juve, I tell you already, is Youssouf Fofana from Milan. Not that I want the player, 26 years old player, not that I really want him, but it's a Comunitario player because he's born in Paris, double citizenship, Paris, France, and Mali, but it's a player that could possibly be there because Milan is really looking to find a way to unlock the Dusan Vlahovic situation. Dusan Vlahovic, where Milan is really strong in, they cannot put cash on the table. All the money that we are asking, 20 million euro, plus the stipendio, the salary of the Serbian player, so they are trying to find an alternative. Fofana could be a player, a midfielder, because we are looking for a midfielder. Otherwise, they are putting the name of Thiaw. Malik Thiaw, that it's not the first time that is there offered by Milan for Juve, but I tell you, please no. Not because of the player, it's still a young player, 23 years old, German player, can play in the center of the defense, can play on the right side. It's not that much for him. I don't see big things for him. When last year we will speak about Kalulu, I told you I was immediately impressed, and I really wanted Kalulu at Juve because I saw potential back then. Thiaw, that's not the player that will really raise the level of Juve defense, but it's a player that I'm not 100% convinced of for another reason, and the reason is that I don't want to reinforce Milan, because you are actually putting away one that will not play with Max Allegri. You put him in our team where we have already 100 defenders. Because honestly, if you're speaking about quantity of defenders, we have a lot. We have too much. It's the quality that is missing in our defense. So don't bring me Thiaw that will raise even more the quantity, but not that much that quality. So a Milan that is reinforcing themselves after Modric, that you can discuss about, but Ricci, potential strong Italian player, they now went for Jashari, the best player, the best one that played in Belgium Jupiler Pro League last year. He's a good one, and especially with one game a week, he will have all the time to adapt himself in black and red. So pay attention to that name. They are really reinforcing themselves. So what are they missing today? I believe a right back, if I'm not wrong, maybe a left back, I'm not sure, but what they are really missing is a striker, because Max Allegri doesn't believe in the striker that they have now from Feyenoord, Gimenez. and they want to go for Dusan Vlahovic. So you're solving them a problem because you're sending them the striker that they want, and actually you're taking another problem at home. So please don't do that. Please. Dusan Vlahovic, but that's the problem. Can he go somewhere else? At the moment, no. Because apparently Ristic, the agent of the Serbian, he went in UK. He went to all the clubs. Hey, hello, I am the agent of Dusan. He's there, available. You want him? And all the clubs said, it's not that we don't want him, but it's a second, third option. Some teams even said no immediately, but the most polite ones, they said, it's a second, third option. We are looking for other ones. Like, for example, Manchester United that said, no, we want Sesko. We don't want Dusan Vlahovic. So forget about it. And that's the problem, because at the moment, the club that could potentially interest Dusan Vlahovic, well, they say no. They are not interested in him. And I think that really at the end he will go to Milan. I hope it's for money, because then we can talk about it, but not just giving it away for 10 millions with a player. I'm really scared about that situation. I hope that this will not happen. Anyway, like, I don't want that Juventus is helping Napoli with Miretti, because Miretti is a beautiful player. Is he a starter at Juve? We had this discussion. I don't believe that it's a player that is worth at today 30, 40, 50 million euro. Can he become it? Well, the time is running, because he celebrated 22, so it's the season where he needs to prove that he's that kind of player. 30, 35, 40 million euro. At today, no. But the problem is that he could become that player. He could become, especially from Genoa, going to Napoli, in a Napoli that is looking for also the alternative, the rotational player, because they will have a lot of games more. I don't want to be here saying, okay, the value was maybe 20 back then, but now the value is 30, 40 million euro for a player that we actually grew up. He wants to leave, He wants to leave because he doesn't see himself being in the 3-4-2-1. He doesn't really find a spot. At the moment, Napoli, they wanted to give 10. They are increasing. Some people are saying 14 million euro. This is far away. At the moment, 20 is what Comolli requested. They are saying that for 18, they could possibly find an agreement. Let's see about Miretti. But the problem is not Miretti leaving or not. My problem is really reinforcing Napoli for that sum. I would never do it. Anyway, another player that is there, where Juventus is monitoring, is Wilfried Singo, 24. He already has some Serie A experience because he played at Torino. Sometimes you have these beautiful flashes from Wilfried Singo, but for me it's more a player from Monaco, from Torino, these kind of teams more than for Juve. In the past, a few years ago, he played in that right wing back where he was going up and down, but it's already 3-4 years where he's not playing that position anymore. Now he's really playing as a right back. Do you want to go for a right back in Wilfried Singo, knowing that it's also an extracomunitario? It's not a European player. He's coming from La Côte d'Ivoire, like for example Kessié that we were speaking about a few times ago. But at the moment I want to reassure that yes, it's the name that is there, but at the moment Juventus didn't really open that file. A player that could stay is Nico Gonzalez, probably because the offers that arrived were not enough for him or were not attractive enough for him. He wants to stay at Juve. Juve said, we have so much work, we have so many problems already, Dusan Vlahovic, Douglas Luiz, etc., that Nico Gonzalez that is happy to also play as a right wing back instead of Joao Mario or with Joao Mario could be a player that we can give another chance, and we see it on social media. Now, what will happen? We continue with the training session in Herzogenaurach that you can follow on Juventus YouTube, and after that we go to Dortmund. Today there will be an open training session for the first time for Juventus members and Juventus official fan club for that area that will be able to watch the training session of today. The first time that we will be able to watch 25-26 Juventus. So if there are people there, please let me know how it went. And then Juventus that tries to go for Kolo Muani. They didn't give up, and they would love to bring him, not for Germany anymore, it's too late, but they would love to bring him for the game in family on the 13th, Juventus against Juventus Next Gen in the Allianz Stadium. If you enjoyed the video, and if you enjoyed the fact that I'm back home, please put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe. Grazie, forza, Juve.